funny when both you and the enemy have reflection and play table tennis with projectiles. That sounds like it would be incredibly fun to do with an Orb of Destruction, but also terrifying to do with an Orb of Destruction. But boy, would it look cool the entire time. Okay, where have we not gone yet? Let's head in here first. Hop this way. Can see why actually mapping these out would be advantageous, because my brain power is being taxed far too much trying to remember which of these paths takes us to which entrance. But it looks like we might have cleared the entire thing. Can I get back here at all? Doesn't look like it. There's just this unused portal, is there? Indeed. Would need to be a pretty open space so it doesn't hit a wall. That's true, yeah. Oh boy, so satisfying, so cool to look at, but heart clenching, butt tensing. Probably should have reversed those two in terms of adjectives given, but that's fine. Regardless, you get the point. Horrifying situation, but boy, would it be fun. So let's just get out of here, though. That was a really fun whiz lab. That's probably my favorite whiz lab that I've gone through so far. Very satisfying, and a very kind of interesting spin on it to have all the portals go to different locations and trying to map it all out. Very likely did miss one somewhere along the ride, but not the end of the world here. Let's continue going through vaults. I'm still desperately hoping some source of electricity resistance. I'd like to not have to go grab that air wand or air staff at some point. Seems like a less than perfect way to band-aid our problems. Goodbye, friend. I was about to say hello, but it was a little bit too late on the draw, unfortunately. So we must just say goodbye. 10 Trimstones already got. In spades. Ooh. As soon as we see Vault Wardens, we bring out the big guns here. And I would say that Spell Servitor doubles our damage output, but I actually think it more accurately like triples, because the sheer rate that they can fire off these orbs is wild. Just out of control. You encounter the Roulette of Galubria in Depths 1. So okay, we're not identical twins, but kind of like fraternal twins. Got them in very related areas or branches of the dungeon. V1 for me, U1 for you. What's the difference really, though? Just one space apart in the alphabet, which is how I judge everything in life. And not too shabby here. Let's just head back on the road. I didn't think that Orb Destruction would make it through. Very low odds, but was hoping that it would somehow thread the needle. Could have been nice. And let's see what else we find as we're just trying to prep up the very final steps for the end of the run here. Because oh boy, are we close to having everything we need. Also in the last 5 minutes, my office temperature has somehow, I mean, as a hyperbole, I'd say doubled, even though that's hopefully not accurate. Oh dear God, that'd be too warm. But regardless, it has gotten strangely warm in here. Don't know how I feel about that. I already sweat enough when I play the game. I don't need extra levels of heat to add to the intensity of the entire operation. If I had Spellforge Servitor cast Crystal Spear, so that's my dream scenario for any of them. In fact, have we ever... I don't think we've been offered Crystal Spear. I don't think we have it in this book yet, otherwise it would probably be learned by now. Yeah, unfortunately not. But no, that is definitely my preferred operation spell for my Spellforge Servitors. Which makes sense. I'm definitely not, by any stretch of the imagination, unique in that regard. But super fun. And that's where I start to get scared, because at least Orb Destruction can't miss. So if there's an enemy between you two, chances are Orb Destruction will hit the enemy between you two. Crystal Spear, though, if you have a dodge-heavy enemy, be very careful that you don't instant KO yourself. I don't think I've ever died to it, fortunately, but I've had many a close call bring me down to, you know, low double digits. of hit points, and that's less than ideal. I don't know. It might be just me, but I don't like losing health in the video game that's all about staying alive. Call me crazy. But I'm just a little bit of a weirdo like that, I guess. I'm not like other boys. Let's take advantage of this lovely setup. Thank you all for forming an orderly queue. I appreciate your organizational skills very much. Thank you. Gotta be careful with positioning. Exactly. That's definitely the case in that regard. What mutations do we have still? Too many. Too many, my friends. We still have, let's see if we can do this off memory. Excluding the good ones, because we only focus on the bad things in life here. We definitely have Berserkitis still. We definitely have unable to read scrolls when endangered, which is the one I really want to get rid of. So we'll probably use one of our 2 remaining potions to try again on that front. Unfortunately, when we have as many mutations as we do, odds are pretty low that you'll get rid of the ones you're actually trying to, unfortunately. And having only 2 potions, not great. Not great. What else though? I think we have some stat or depreciating ones. Dex -2. I don't think we still have low energy. Let's check though. Dex -2, temper, and scrolls. Wow, that was actually better memory than I thought. How about that? So it's not the end of the world, so that's definitely partially why I am scared to immediately head into Zot. I wouldn't mind having a little bit of time to explore around before we have to resort to drinking our last mutations, to hopefully find ourselves with some resistance to electricity. Ah, see, okay, they're the Thunder Hulks, and they do have a weird neck thing. I thought their neck was going to be thin and twisted, but it's actually that it has like stitches. Maybe their helmet is like grafted into their skin, something like that. But you kids get scarier in the future, hey? Well, how about that? How about that? I guess the main thing there is that you just want to not be you want to not be far away. So I probably should have actually taken some steps towards that son of a gun, right? Can't hit adjacent foes with the lightning, so that seems like the correct order of operations there. Scrollbrand weapon can definitely be left behind for the time being. And let's just bring a friend into this world, and the 2 of us against said world. It'll just be a thing of beauty, friend. Beautiful indeed. Spellforge Servitor is just too good. I love that spell so much. It's no ignition in terms of just watching the text roll by. Perfect timing there as I continually force more through a bunch of info there. But it has its own level of satisfaction in its own right, for sure. Beauty. Let's hope these don't careen into the wall too much. There we go. Fantastic stuff. No, that's not what I wanted. Just quickly try that again. It's nice because when you fail the summon on the Spellforge Servitor and you get one of those weird nameless horrors, just cast it again and your successful servitor will just immediately blast them to smithereens. So it works out. It's a decent little economy that we got going in that regard. Another Thunder Hulk, hey? That's not what we wanted to see here. At the very least, we can hit you early. Once. Twice. Come on, Spellforge Servitor. Oh, not quite. Well, that means we immediately run away. Dang, they did manage to get the doors closed before we got it. That's too bad. We should play Brand Roulette on a +0 dagger for fun. Sounds good to me. Can see if we can get some of the more rare options to show up there. But okie dokie. If we're going to be trapped in this corner, let's step out. I'm going to box the beasts to bring something into the fray. Oh, there we go. No longer locked out. Oh, if the Thunder Hulk wants to walk next to me, though, that's ideal. Especially if they get poisoned by our little sting pal there. And then let's get away from the walls, because that's the main source of damage from these preservers, or frost hearts, right? Preservers are the green ones. I always think cold, freezer, refrigeration, preservation, but that's not how that logic works in the video game. Whoops. Mama, buddy, sing song and Vinny, profit you. And that's, see, it's that kind of prose, that artistic beauty, which is why I refuse to kill UF when we find them in the dungeon. Does such an artiste, sorry, truly deserve to die? I think not. I think not. UF for life, and if you think differently, then, I mean, you're just wrong, but that's fine. We're all wrong sometimes. Can't always be right. It looks like you're gonna get the summon off, unfortunately. Hey, friend. I guess I can blast you once. Can hope that that orb destruction hits? Nah. Spoiler alert, it did not hit. Oh gosh, it did not hit. Run like the coward I am. Multiple Thunder Hulks popping out is pretty much the main factor as to why we have to just immediately escape the vicinity. Yeah, you see that hit right there? That, much like was mentioned earlier in the stream today, that is too much red for a single health bar. Far too much red to see in one hit. So let us just change tacks here a little bit. I guess Orb Destruction, probably not great against a Boulder Beetle until they're charging, but that is a-okay. Hello, friends. It's giving me fond memories back to Spider, which actually went okay for this character from what I remember. Actually, wait, did I have Spider? Was that this character? No, not this one. That was the last. That was Angry Bird. Just makes me sad to even think about them. Did you just read a scroll of summoning, you son of a gun? Gosh darn it. I want that though. That's not cool. Very not cool, friends. That sucks. You want to tell him active ability like Zin's Recite, where he spouts nonsense at the denizens of the dungeons? No offense, or no effects, just that. I think that needs to be added post-haste. Ever since it came up, or you mentioned it, the game is now literally unplayable because it doesn't have that as an option. That is brilliant. You'd easily like multiply the number of Chaos Knights in the mix by like 4 or 5. I don't see how anyone could not play a Chaos Knight with such an incredible ability as such. Temptation of Cloak and +4 Quarterstaff of Chaos is too high. Yeah, the Chaos effects are always just so interesting. I mean, I already briefly hinted at my opinion of like Zom's chess piece. Not good. But in general, Chaos Brand all kind of falls under that same umbrella of like, oh, it's so fun, but oh my gosh, is it scary. One wrong move. And it's not even like you make a wrong move intentionally, it's that you roll the dice and get a slightly less than ideal result, and you're absolutely boned. I'll accidentally haste that, haste a Juggernaut or something like that. Oh my gosh. I shudder to think. Shudder to think. You want to be crazy UF? Don't we all, friend? Don't we all? Fortunately, there's no peaceful option to liberate UF of his cloak and quarterstaff. No, not yet anyway. Maybe one day we'll have diplomacy, but as of right now, it is very much a kill or be killed part of the dungeon, so I just leave them alone, let them continue their nap in peace at home. I think that helps, or is part of also the reason why I have to spare UF is, I mean, they're just living their own life, you know? They're not hurting anyone, they're just tucked away, trying to live out their days at peace at home with their loved ones, which are mostly just the voices in their head, but who am I to judge, really? Okie dokie. Well, Ignition did a heck of a lot of work there. Fantastic stuff. Probably just keep it up after bringing in the Spellforge Servitor for some extra insurance of a kind. Not too shabby here. Okay, do you know what? Fine. I'll back up so my Spellforge Servitor does something. Chaos Brand is awesome until it isn't. Exactly. I think the only time that I can logic myself into allowing it is when you have the mace of variability, because it's beautiful. It's fun and colorful. It's a cool unrand art, so whenever you see an unrand art, you at least have to think about using it, right? Oh, excuse me. Frost Giant is apparently adept on their toes. Quite the ballerina there, dodging, dipping, and weaving. Not too shabby. Using JVO's, Ellie's, or Lugana's abilities to deal with UF does not leave Cloak and Quarterstaff behind. Oh, that's a shame. What about Polymorph? Ooh, the hard-hitting questions, trying to get to the bottom. Can we rob this Knoll of all their stuff without murdering them indiscriminately? Glad I have all of you to do the theory crafting behind it, because I didn't even think of the plethora of options available that might work, just maybe. And anything that, as long as you're leaving you up alive, I'm in the same boat. I'm on your side, 100% all the way, for the science of the matter. Let's see, the +4 glaive of resumed hostilities, spectral, interesting. I mean, you're probably just gonna die immediately. Oh, holy moly, they survived 2 orbs of destruction. That's impressive, friend. I tell you, the majority of denizens of this deep, dark dungeon don't develop. That's as many D's as I can do. I wanted to keep the alliteration going, but develop the same level of deafness, as it were. It gets hard to keep stringing alliteration when you try and not only do it for like nouns and verbs, but also get all the tiny operative parts of speech all to follow the same. I guess I could just say the, like duh. Something like that solves that problem to a certain extent. Can keep the alliteration going forever, for all of eternity. But okay, we could keep going through vaults. But I'm tempted to just leave. Still less than ideal without electricity resistance. We have 6 resistance potions, so at least that's in our back pocket for if we get surrounded by a bunch of the buddies. And as briefly touched upon earlier, I can run up and grab that air staff, or staff of air, I guess is the way it's called, just so I have an emergency option at my disposal. Even though it's mostly useless in every other regard, just for that resistance, might be worth it. Might be worth it. Let's see, Firestorm, how are you looking? 26%? Were we bringing this up to... Oh, we never capped you. So we'll probably actually have to bring Fire Magic up to like 24. I thought we might, but I was crossing my fingers that our intelligence would be high enough to kind of bypass that. I guess training generalized spellcasting also helps a decent bit. Let's do this. Conjurations to 22. Even though I guess that's leveling up our Orb of Destruction power as well, which is pretty huge and nice. It's already gone up another 9 damage since the last time I even checked this screen, so that's appreciable at the very least. Pick up the staff, at least drawing a weapon is fast, exactly. We need something. Vaults is scary. Any section at this stage in the game is a little bit scarier than I feel comfortable admitting, unfortunately. But we'll make it through. I'm feeling confident in our abilities to avoid my own stupidity for the most part. That's generally the goal of these sessions. Okay, that amulet. Don't need to be carrying around, so let us go. Search for Arlek again. Still nothing new, of course. And I guess we go all the way up to D6. Seems like it would probably be backwards, but the game is telling me it's closer. So who am I to argue with an omnipotent AI of sorts? My Go should still be taking me there, right? So I can just sneak on past those Sons of Guns. Perfect. Time to go to the not scary realm of Zot. Exactly, the just walk in the park, beautiful environment. Oh, hello, Harold. I almost feel bad for this, but you know what? You made my life heck early on, so you get to go by the wayside. UF, Natasha, many uniques are left, or are better left kept around, kept safe. You know, they're not trying to hurt anybody. Just look out for them and their own good. Not so much for Harold. Harold is just a son of a gun who deserves none of our sympathy, of course. And just take that son of a gun out. Taking away Stair dancing is brutal. Oh, definitely. That's what makes the like tombs so scary. Whenever that changed, I feel like that was like 0.24 or something like that. I forget when tomb got scarier. But yeah, all the one-way stairs everywhere. Oh boy, does that truly represent exactly how much more frightening it is to take away stair dancing as an emergency backup strategy. But okie dokie. I think we will head into Zot here, but I'm going to take a quick 30-second break. I'm going to run out, grab a refill for my glass, and then we'll be right back to continue on. And hopefully not die immediately to a horde of electrical-themed enemies. No promises, we'll see how it goes. I'll be back in just a moment here, see you soon. Let's try that again. Oh, I must have hit a wrong button because my mic wasn't even muted. How about that? Well, welcome back. Let's quickly pour this son of a gun in. Glad I didn't say anything too embarrassing or horrifying, and I thought my mic was muted. Whoopsie daisies. Fortunately, I like to think that I don't have too many terrible takes or disgusting personal opinions, so that takes a lot of the pressure off my plate. It's mostly just don't say the name of my wife accidentally out loud. Or my social security number, any of that important stuff. Oh, tabbing and stair dancing form DCSS players' personalities. I mean, you're not wrong about that, friend. You're not wrong. Oh my gosh, and what a Zot. Okay. So the first things that we see here, instant mark placed upon us, and Orb of Fire is the first enemy we come across. The mark causes all of this. Chilly Moan, roar times 16, deafening roar. Here, roar times 7, deafening roar. Roar times 4, chilling moan, roar times 2. Yeah, that's a big yikes there. Jeez Louise. And it's gonna be hard to hit you with Orbs of Destruction. Do I just have one pip of fire resistance? Oh gosh, but if I leave now, things don't get that much easier down here. Can I duke this out at all? Did I crash someone's retirement party or something? This Orb of Fire was actually just on their way out. Their shift was done for the day, you know, they'd had a hard 12 long hours down in the lungs in Zot 5, and they just wanted to head out of the dungeon, head home, and here I am to ruin their day, of course. So it's a lose-lose. Nobody is happy. We're all disappointed. I interrupt their day off, and they ruin my entire life. So how about that? You think Tiamat is even scarier than an Orb of Fire? Definitely depending on what you have available to you and your own your situation. In general, I'd agree with that. A lot of the high-end uniques are situationally a lot scarier than Orbs of Fire, because at least Orbs of Fire are pretty one-note. If you have fire resistance, if you have some good source of damage that can, you know, pierce through the ridiculous amounts of AC and evasion, you're good to go. Unfortunately, this character, a little iffy on that. I mean, Orb of Destruction is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but only if it's in the right orientation. So let's get one mutation to hit. Not great. You know what, let's change out Corrosion Ring for another resistance to fire, and I'm going to keep trying to launch Orbs of Destruction. Ooh. But now hold on a second. Let's wait a turn and take you up with us. You me, Spellforge Servitor, all locked up in a room together. Honestly, I just feel kind of bad for you, Orb of Fire. It's over, friend. Say goodbye. Again, so sorry to interrupt. You just trying to get home, just on your way off of work. I feel horrible about it, but I kind of feel good about it too. And this is a very scary situation, but not as bad as it otherwise might be, just because of how closed off this doorway is. If this was open, there's no shot. We'd have to go through like 12 different areas of the dungeon just to make ourselves, you know, robust enough to survive a single turn with all that fire. But 3 targets? I think we can stair dance a little bit here. Just no black draconians, ideally. That's the one thing where we start to truly struggle. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, this is not bad at all. In fact, ooh, besides Constriction. Constriction potentially ruins this for us to a certain degree. Just because when we do decide that, like, oh gosh, now is the time to run away, might be too late by then, so that's not great. Did the oof mutated at all? They did. Yeah, nothing too bad. I think we lost dexterity. Clumsy's dexterity, right? Yeah. In fact, that's it. We lost a little bit of dexterity. So we just got hit by the 1, fortunately. Still not ideal necessarily, but much better than we saw in the past. This is terrifying, by the way. I didn't notice there's another Moth of Wrath down here. I hate that. Absolutely hate that. So we'll go for 1 more blast, but I'm gonna start thinking about heading upstairs. I mean, unless it does that well, then how could I, right? Red Draconians aren't gonna be too affected by this, but everyone else coming to the table is gonna get completely obliterated. Fantastic. And now, do I try and cut my losses? Let's do it. We're constricted, so I didn't want to get caught out and unable to escape up the stairs when it already became a nightmare situation. So that works out perfectly. Great timing. And now we just have mostly a bunch of Draconians to deal with, most of which we're okay with. Again, black Draconians, no fly zone. Gonna have a tough time. But anyone else, we're okay. Even a ghost moth, not too shabby. This should deal a decent amount of damage overall, and as long as we're killing things, Vehement has got our back. We do still have a Moth of Wrath somewhere there, but this should kill both the Black Draconians, which means no lightning damage, which is all we can really hope for in life. That is not no lightning damage. Okay, do you know what? We're heading up. Spellforge Servitor. Please. I have no magic, but you do, friend. Oh, maybe not for long though? Are you gonna be okay? Spellforge Servitor is destroyed. Okay, I'm gonna start by reading... Oh, I cannot read scrolls in my current state. That is bad. That is quite bad. I'm gonna open the lid then. I'm going to... I cannot silence you, I believe. Just affected by anti-magic. Definitely one of those runaway at 70%, 80% HP situations. That's something that I need to learn to take to heart a little bit more often. Also, thank you, Air Staff. 100% the way to go. I totally forgot it even existed, so thank you, Safid. That's the whole dang reason we went and got the darn thing in the first place. What else can I do here? I could mirror one of you. Like, mirroring the electric golem isn't good against the electric golem, but it is potentially okay against the ghost moth, because these things can see invisible. They can. Interesting. Oh, also condenser vein probably would have been a decent idea while we were fending off the hordes of the abyss there, hey? How about that? Let's just start here. Gonna manually attack a little bit, even though maybe not my best move. You are resistant to fire and cold, but just resistant. Same with you. So let's check out. Wand of Acid, I potentially want to keep around for the future. This, we might be able to just blast you with. We can kill the moth. Then we can kill the golem in time here. We just need to get a short reprieve. A tiny break from the activity here. And if they keep linking like that, then that's no problem for us whatsoever. And even running this distance allows us to bring out the servitor, which I think is hopefully enough. Depending on how the blinks on this son of a gun walk through. Don't you dare kill... Did you? No, okay. I think the golem killed my juvenile shock bat. Because if my servitor did it, oh boy, that would be a firm, a stern talking to, for sure. Because we don't do that here, friend. That's not cool. It was just a child. But okay, let's start with a little bit of condenser flame. Honestly, not the element we're hoping for. That's already something that we can do in spades with ignition ourselves. So it almost I do prefer to do it to ourselves. So I'm not actually going to equip the mace yet, save it, even though, again, thank you so much for the reminder. I do always appreciate it. But I was worried about black draconians coming down, so I thought, well, I'm just going to be casting spells. Not a huge rush. We have to worry a little bit about white draconians, but I still have to toe the line somewhere. In fact, I guess here there are no black, so you were right. Let's switch over to this. Of course, black draconian comes around the corner right then, and yes, that's definitely a paddling Dr. Pirate. That's a paddling. Sure. Let's just keep blasting. We're not quite in as scary of a situation yet, though that could change at any time. In fact, wait, which one are you? You're the, like, damnation? Yeah. As long as there are no shifters about, I don't want to get hordes teleported on me. I definitely don't want to get teleported off the stairway here. Oh, please no. Sorry, not backseating. You rang. Never a concern on this channel. Unless I'm specifically trying to do something that's very, like, spoiler heavy and I ask for no spoilers is the only thing that I ever care about. But backseat gaming, I mean, I need someone to give me directions while I'm driving the dang vehicle here. How am I supposed to know where to go? But in all honesty, in general, I just don't mind whatsoever. Especially when you're just smarter than I am, and you're just right. As is often the case, if not always. But okie dokie, not too bad. Especially given the situation that we walked into there, the fact that we're still alive, have killed off the majority of the floor by this stage already. That's going to be a thumbs up for me, dog. The only other thing that I want to take into consideration before going down once more into the breach here was something important. Skills? Spells? I had something that came to my mind, probably just skills and reconfiguring, making sure these were all in the right boats. I mean, armor, I guess, is just leveling up with no cap, so let's give that a cap. Fighting, we'll actually just bring to 17 now. Maybe pump the brakes there a little bit. Spellcasting will come on a bit just to give us a few more utility spell slots for the last while here. Oh, one thing that I have been forgetting completely is that I believe we need, or want rather, to change out our armor. What would I want instead of these Swamp Dragon Scales? I mean, we got these at level 10 from Maggie, as we can see on the screen here, and they've been killing it ever since. Killed the last 15 HP. I'm kind of sad that I already did here, otherwise I might have just out of spite said no. And gone for broke. Ooh, what do you have? Glaive of Freezing. That's actually kind of annoying. Because I have to pick between cold resistance and electricity resistance. Those things just don't coexist in my plane of existence here, unfortunately. So less than ideal. But if I can just get you next to me, heck yeah, okay. And this even calls for reshuffling our staff onto A so that I can just quickly pull a switcheroo like this. As such, perfect. And one of these days, we'll get our toehold into Zot. I swear. I'm just gonna throw out ignitions to try and kill off the yellow draconians before they get up to us. This is where should have, again, tried a little bit earlier to escape in case just such a thing happened. But bring out the Spellforge Servitor, and we're fortunately quick enough. Oh, we reflected the net back at them. Honestly, just feel a little bit bad for you, friend. But I'd do it again. Bop, bop. And let us, I guess, just run for now. Oh, you are hasted, hey? That's potentially problematic. Stop that. Stop it. Bad, Draconian. Bad. Perfect. Much better. Just quickly escape, and then we can find this son of a gun. And now duel me. I was going to say 1v1, but a little bit dishonest with my intentions to bring in the Spellforge Servitor. And rinse and repeat. Step so that I don't accidentally get an aftershoot from our Spellforged buddy here. And not too shabby. Okie dokie. What have we got waiting for us down here? Red Draconian, pretty much the only thing that can cause for a pain in the rear. Did all of our Orbs of Destruction immediately careen into a wall? I mean, it's fair. It was an enclosed space. I don't know what else I was supposed to expect, but still, geez, no, don't do that. Still sucks. There is a shifter up there, which brings me some level of concern for my current strategy. Again, don't teleport me off these stairs, son, and we'll be okay. And live together in harmony. White Draconian does not work for me in our current setup here, as we are currently in our resist electricity mode. Haven't quite managed to transform into our resist cold mode again here. What's down? Yes, white Draconians. I don't know if both of the yellow Draconians had freezing glaives. Then there's definitely still one left. Otherwise, there's one magically glaved, or magical glaive equipped yellow Draconian down here. Let's just risk it. What have you got? Glaive of Protection. Glaive of Protection. Let's try that one again. Okay, never mind. We'll just stick to our staff, and there we go. Now the shifter decides to ruin our day. Stop that. Stop that. And shifter is gone. Let's just keep the white Draconians between us and the lightning buddy. Keeps us a little bit safer here. And one final Spellforger, or Spellforged Servitor rather. Maybe Spellforger is not a bad shortening, the less formal version of their name here. Not too bad, okay. Jeez Louise, I didn't even remember what else we were doing here. It was just survive this staircase was the only thing running through my mind for the past 10 minutes or so, however long it's been. Absolutely unreal. Quicksilver Dragon Scales give us willpower, which we don't need. Fire Dragon Scales give us a pip of fire resistance at the expense of cold. That wouldn't be horrible. Do we have Storm Dragon Scales? And if so, how heavy do they be? Ah, we don't. So that solves that riddle in its infancy. We don't have to worry too much about that question at the moment. So that's probably what we'd want to switch to, is some sort of armor piece that has resistance to electricity, or is there anything else that we'd trade it out for? No, that's pretty much it. That's all we're looking for in life. And we did, in fact, kill off, like, the entire floor. Look, another Sentinel's Mark, and we're not going to worry our pretty little heads about it. Just keep going. Huh. How about that? Wild. Chaos Quarterstaff transformed a Scorpion into a Shapeshifter. Lovely. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh, no. That's quite rough. Best of luck getting through in one piece. Bring in Servitor, and this is essentially just our lives now. Rinse and repeat. It's all we truly need to succeed. Let's try and hit both these sons of guns. Fantastic. And again, beauty. Run back, and then for the most part, Ignition does really well against the Draconian Hordes, of course. So that is something that we can keep at our disposal. Is one of those coming at me? Both those coming at me? Come on, sir. Spellforge Servitor, please. Please. Stop this madness in the name of your king. Okay, perfect. Not too bad. Yeah, that mark just saved us time. And, you know, you gotta flaunt it a little bit. It's not too often that you get marked and you're not just, oh gosh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And instead, you can just enjoy the ringing in your ears as the alarm bells go off throughout the entire floor. It's really quite lovely this time of year. It's now just human. You try and take it out, and then immediately change into a hornet. Yes, unfortunately, there's never any rest when there's a shapeshifter at hand. You have but a moment's reprieve before who knows what they may come back to haunt you with. Congrats, I'm glad, Colgate. I'm glad you got through in one piece. Every instance of not dying is a victory, to say the least, in this lovely game. Okay, let's hold off and wait a moment. Hold fire and launch. Stop that. We don't hurl damnation in this household. Very rude. And we should be able to actually get a Spellforge Servitor to get a little bit of nasty work done before we have to retreat with our tail between our legs. Maybe? Sir? No, I'm gonna leave. No reason. Was it originally a swamp dragon and you almost died? Did you not have poison resistance, or just in general the sheer magnitude of the dragon was the issue? Regardless, scary situation, and I'm glad you made it on one piece. It's always gratifying when those... Okay, this buddy has to die before they berserk the Quicksilver. As much as the Quicksilver is the scary target, that just amplifies them 100-fold. No poison resistance. Makes sense. That is a frightening fight. Yeah, it's very satisfying when you get the victory over the encounter using a polymorph charge, but it's never quite the straightforward story that you might hope it would be on initial change, eh? But regardless, very happy for your success, your continued survival. The only thing that truly matters in this deep, dark dungeon that we delve. Stop that. If that orb destruction hits me, I'm firing you. Okay, no, we're good. Not too shabby. Are you gonna do anything, Servitor? Or are you just a visual piece? Oh gosh. Teleport is not a good move here, unfortunately. So I think I'm gonna box a beast to try and throw a distraction into the mix. Do I want to haste? Potentially. There's Spellforge Servitor though. And now we've done a little bit of a loop-de-loop. Let us finish off this son of a gun. With acid? Not quite. Are you immune to cold or just resistant? Oh, and you're not even very resistant. I should have definitely haste potted earlier. I thought of it for a brief moment, immediately threw it out, and regret my life's decisions. But if you're just resistant, could potentially blast you with ice. Not ideal. Look at this absolute Chad auto-swings like a boss. Oh, I always do. Much to my own chagrin, and despite how often it's ended horribly for me, it is something I continue to do against all my my better thoughts. You can... Oh, you can icicle. Yes. For a second, that looked kind of like a crystal sphere, and I just about jumped out of my skin. Oh boy, let's get out of there. I'm taking a hold and put you down is concerned. Oh boy, oh me, oh my. Rightfully so. And should Zot not be auto-explored? I mean, in general, it's definitely pretty rough, just because it'll take you far away from your exit stairs. Or, you know, around into unexplored territory where you've left kind of like a horseshoe shape of unexplored in the middle. And who knows what kind of monsters could cut you off. So I would argue generally recommend it against. Just for if you want to play, you know, perfectly safe. That orb is going to hit me, right? You son of a gun. How dare you? One of these days, these servitors... Oh, jeez. Oh, we killed the Draconians. Never mind. Fantastic. Great work, squad. We did it. Get him. Go, servitor. Go. Get him.